ब्लॉकचेन क्या है, माइनिंग क्या है और क्रिप्टो करेंसी क्या है। और उस सब के बाद में हमारी भारतीयता की पहचान एक अनोखी ऐसी अनूठा नाम जिसे कि हर मांगलिक कार्य में बहुत मंगल समझा जाता है, गिन्नी। गिन्नी क्या है, गिन्नी का इनिशिएटिव कैसे लिया, कैसे इसकी शुरुआत हुई, आज गिन्नी किस पायदान पे है, इन सब बातों को लेकर हमारे बीच में हमारे देश के एक यशस्वी नागरिक और सिंगापुर के एक नामचीन उद्योगपति आदरणीय श्री एस.डी. गुप्ता जी और गिन्नी के सीईओ श्री विकास गुप्ता जी हमारे बीच मौजूद हैं। वो आज इन सब बातों पर प्रकाश डालेंगे। तो मैं फिर आपका स्वागत करते हुए और आदरणीय एस.डी. गुप्ता जी से अनुरोध करूंगा कि वो आगे की इस कॉन्फ्रेंस की कार्रवाई का संचालन करेंगे। थैंक यू सो मच।
नमस्कार। सबसे पहले बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सब लोगों का जो आपने कीमती समय निकाला। हमारा मानना ये है कि आप सब लोगों के हाथ में बहुत बड़ी पावर है, जो कलम की पावर है, जिसके जरिए जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है उसमें काफ़ी भ्रांतियाँ हैं, उनको दूर किया जा सकता है। और कैसे इस नई टेक्नोलॉजी से लोगों का, व्यापार का या देश का भला किया जा सकता है, हम उस विषय पर चर्चा करना चाह रहे हैं। देखा जाए तो हमारा जीवन में बहुत सारे चेंजेस आए जिन्होंने हमारा रहना, काम करना सब कुछ बदल दिया। जैसे कि कंप्यूटर आए, इंटरनेट आए, गूगल हो गया, फेसबुक हो गया, हमारा रहना सहना सब कुछ बदल गया। इसी तरह ई कॉमर्स आया। अब एक नई टेक्नोलॉजी का जन्म हुआ है, ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी, जिसके जरिए एक डिसरप्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी है, बहुत सारे व्यापारों की शक्ल बदल जाएगी आने वाले समय में। और यही इसको हम कैसे पॉजिटिव तरीके से यूज़ कर सकते हैं ताकि इससे व्यापार को बेहतरी हो, लोगों को बेहतरी हो, सरकार को बेहतरी हो, सारे विश्व की बेहतरी हो, उस विषय पर ही हम आगे चर्चा करना चाह रहे हैं। इस विषय में मैं विकास जी को आगे, बिकॉज ये जो टेक्निकल विषय है उसके ऊपर वो आगे प्रकाश डालेंगे।
पहले तो मैं आपको ये समझाना चाहूँगा कि क्रिप्टो करेंसी क्या है। क्रिप्टो करेंसी का मतलब क्या होता है। पहले तो वो फौरन ही ट्रांजैक्शनें हो जाती हैं, कोई चेक की क्लियरेंस की वेटिंग नहीं होती, कोई चार्जबैक नहीं होता, कोई अकाउंट फ्रीज नहीं होता, कोई इंटरनेशनल वायर फी नहीं होते, कोई मिनिमम मैक्सिमम बैलेंस नहीं चाहिए, कोई अकाउंट का अप्रूवल का टाइम, वेटिंग टाइम ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता, ना कोई प्रिंटिंग प्रेस है। इसके बावजूद ये इतने आगे पहुंच गया है। और इट डज नॉट डिस्क्रिमिनेट एनीवन ऑफ एनी सोशल स्टैंडिंग कैन बी ऑन द ब्लॉकचेन। और ये माइनिंग क्या होता है। माइनिंग ये चार्ट एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है कि जैसे अगर दो सिनारियो लें, एलिस और बॉब। अब एलिस को बिटकॉइन भेजने हैं बॉब को, तो एलिस 2 बिटकॉइन की एक ट्रांजैक्शन रिक्वेस्ट भेजती है नेटवर्क में, जहाँ पे हजारों माइनर होते हैं जो एडवांस कंप्यूटर होते हैं। वो फिर माइनर को पिकअप करता है और एक कंपटीशन होता है एक कॉम्प्लेक्स पजल का। जो पहला बंदा सॉल्व करता है इसे, वो उसको एक ब्लॉक में डालते हैं और फिर उसको और माइनर जो माइन कर रहे हैं चेक करते हैं कि उसने सही किया है कि नहीं। जब सब माइनर बोलते हैं कि ये सही किया है, तब जो पहला माइनर है जिसने ये पजल सॉल्व किया था उसको रिवॉर्ड मिलता है और बॉब को अपने बिटकॉइन मिलते हैं। तो माइनर सिर्फ क्या कर रहे हैं, वो हिसाब कर रहे हैं कि पैसा किसके पास कहाँ जा रहा है, सिर्फ यही काम होता है। लेकिन यूजर के लिए एक सिंपल टैप होता है कि भेजो और रिसीव करो, और पीछे इतना सब हो रहा होता है। इसके साथ साथ ये सबसे वन ऑफ द मोस्ट सिक्योर सिस्टम होता है, नॉर्मल बैंकों की सिक्योरिटी से कई ज़्यादा आगे पहुंच चुका है। अब ये थोड़ा गिनी आईसीओ के बारे में। हमने क्या किया, हमने इस नेटवर्क के लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का बेस किया। ये पहला आईसीओ होएगा दुनिया में जो क्रिप्टो माइनिंग और फास्ट कॉइन एटीएम टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए है, सिंगापुर से। ये एक असली कंपनी है, एक टीम के साथ और ऑफिस के साथ जो पहले ही इन प्लेस है, और ये डिजिटल टोकन होएगा इस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को बढ़ाने के लिए। हमारा आईसीओ टारगेट शुरू में 56,454 इथेरियम था। गिनी के प्राइस they shot up by more than double, so we had to revise the figures to 19,194 Ethereum to keep with our target of $15 million। प्री आईसीओ में हमारा मिनिमम 25 इथेरियम का टारगेट होता है, जो अबाउट रफली $20,000 पर पर्सन होता है, जो रफली 40% बेनिफिट देता है यूजर्स को। ICO जो 6 जनवरी को शुरू होएगा उसमें कोई मिनिमम नहीं है और वो अबाउट 27% बेनिफिट देता है टोकन होल्डर को। गिनी टोकन होल्डर के लिए खास बात ये होगी कि जो ये माइनिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और ATM इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होएगा उसमें एक क्वार्टरली रिवॉर्ड जनरेट होएगा, अप टू 58% ऑफ इट वुड बी गिवन टू द टोकन होल्डर्स। The estimated turnover just for this small infrastructure is expected to be 1 billion on a 3-year average. The estimated rewards for the 15 million is expected to be 21 million per year on a 3-year average. The unique thing about ICOs is it's raising funds without money via a smart contract. तो एक थर्ड पार्टी होता है बीच में जो एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पार्टी होता है इस सबको मैनेज करने के लिए। Guinea token will also be listed and traded on public exchanges to give easy liquidity to token holders. Another important thing is we have a pilot of this mining infrastructure which has been running successfully in Singapore and is profitable. The company being in Singapore allows transparency on fair and clear laws along with lower tax benefits. An audit firm based in Singapore and licensed would be engaged for auditing the company's books yearly to give an unbiased performance report. So 2 main business models which will be involved here. One is mining, which gives high rewards and low turnover, and ATM, which gives high turnover and low rewards. What we are doing is described easily in this chart. It's a very simple model. There are 2 models, mining and ATM. Mining में it's not important कि Bitcoin का आज 16,000 से 14,000 हो गया या 18,000 हो गया. What mining cares about is doing the calculations. तो चाहे Bitcoin टॉप हो या कोई और टॉप में आ जाए, माइनिंग की फिर भी रिक्वायरमेंट रहती है. Similarly, ATM की टेक्नोलॉजी, it does not matter कि प्राइस कितना हो रहा हो, लोगों को फिर भी खरीद और बेच करने का साधन चाहिए, जो ATM टेक्नोलॉजी के द्वारा अचीव किया जा सकता है. तो ये दोनों इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, regardless of which technology is on top, will be performing for the token holders. जो पैसा रेज किया जा रहा है इन दोनों टेक्नोलॉजियों में जा रहा है. ATM जो ट्रेडिंग कर रहा है बाइंग और सेलिंग की और रिवॉर्ड जनरेट करता है, और माइनिंग जो कॉइन्स को जनरेट करता है जो हाई प्रॉफिट लो वॉल्यूम है, इन दोनों को कंबाइन करके अबाउट 58% टोकन होल्डर्स को दिया जाता है. एक खास बात हमारी गिनी टोकन की ये है कि जब हमने शुरू किया ये तकरीबन 13 सेंट का था. अब 17 दिसंबर को it became about 31 cents, Singapore cents, which was already 133% gains just in the token value itself. At this current rate, if this continues at the same rate with the later stages, it would be 228% gains for the token holders who joined initially. हमने इनिशियली टारगेट किया था 150 मिलियन टोकन्स इशू करने का. ये हमने रिवाइज कर दिया क्योंकि प्राइस बढ़ गए. राइट नाउ ये अबाउट 51 मिलियन पे स्टैंड होता है टोकन्स का. क्रेडिबिलिटी कंपनी की क्या होती है लोग पूछते हैं. सो SimCity Specialty Group, which is in Singapore since 1993, it's also one of the largest landlords in Sim Lim Square, which is the IT hub of Singapore, with assets over 70 million. Some brands which the group has carried: Goldkist, O2, Sony Ericsson, Splash, Intel and Lexmark. We are also having Grab as our client for their tracking technology. This is a few pictures of our team and infrastructure, some of the infrastructure behind. Now on mining, इतना सारा complicated process होता है पीछे, उसके लिए complicated process भी होता है. पहले तो आपको स्पेस चाहिए, हार्डवेयर चाहिए, फ्रेम्स चाहिए और इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफ स्केल चाहिए. इंटरनेट वाला चाहिए जो स्टेबल हो, कोई ड्रॉप ना हो, और पूल्स चाहिए. एक अकेला बंदा पहाड़ नहीं खोद सकता है, इसीलिए माइनिंग के लिए काफ़ी लोग एक साथ आते हैं और वो माइनिंग करते हैं ताकि वो पहले हों जो सॉल्व करें पजल को. मेंटेनेंस भी करना पड़ता है और एक स्टेबल और प्रीमियम क्वालिटी एनर्जी चाहिए होती है. ये सब माइनिंग के रिक्वायरमेंट होते हैं जब आप माइनिंग शुरू करें. अगर आप इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंजम्पशन को देखें, बिटकॉइन के नेटवर्क करंटली 62 रैंक होएगा अगर आपने कंट्रियों को रैंक किया इलेक्ट्रिकल कंजम्पशन में. एंड डिस्पाइट दिस, इट इज वन ऑफ द मोर कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव मेथड्स एज कंपेयर्ड टू प्रिंटिंग नोट्स. हमारा यूएसपी माइनिंग में क्या है? हमारे पास डायरेक्ट सप्लाई चेन है मैन्युफैक्चरर्स की, हमारे पास R&D टीम है, हमारे पास डेडिकेटेड इंजीनियर्स हैं साइट पे, हमारे पास प्रीमियम क्वालिटी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, low operational cost, customized hardware, flexibility in coins to mine, and different coins are mined concurrently. There are heat space, crash issues, warranty issues, programming issues. All of this is already being managed by us. Here you can see a picture of another set of infrastructure that we have of miners. Mining was always considered to be requiring cheap electricity. And when we first started, we were questioned why were we mining in Singapore. So for that, we looked at Singapore itself, how a country with no natural resources came to be at the position it is. Through innovation and R&D, we made mining not just profitable, but very profitable in Singapore. So we increased the hash power and we customized the hardware to lower the cost. Our costs and hash power is transparently in our white papers, which a copy of has been distributed and is also on our website. The main point is of the mining technology, our cost per hash power is about 30 to 40% cheaper than those in the market. Now ATMs. How did ATMs come about? We saw the current problems in the economy. If anyone wants to buy a Bitcoin right now, they are not able to. If anyone wants to sell this Bitcoin later, it's not easy. Prices are also very volatile. हर second में hundreds of dollars का difference हो जाता है. Money transferring to exchanges takes time, easily 1 to 3 days before the money is credited. Many big exchanges don't even take any money. If you bank wire to the exchanges, there are high charges as well. It's also not easy for the masses to buy or buy in high volume. This is where this Fastcoin ATM came about. It would allow immediate purchasing. Over 40 different cryptocurrencies can be bought or sold in these ATMs. 100 ATMs are planned worldwide. It would also be AML compliant. People often think that what would happen if people suddenly started buying and selling. So what we did is we put in AML, anti-money laundering. ID is required and it checks with a database of a very sophisticated company to ensure that the users are not on any lists. The hardware is completely customized and the parts are from Samsung, Epson and many other big companies. Let's look at the state of businesses right now. E-commerce is slowly eating away most of the traditional businesses. Costs, salaries, rentals, bad debts, competition is increasing and sales and profit is decreasing. If we look at the current, अभी business करना है तो क्या करेगा कोई? अगर वो property में जाते हैं 3 से 7% का gain मिल सकता है per annum. बैंक इंटरेस्ट पे जाते हैं तो 8 से 10% per annum और इन्फ्लेशन अगर देखा जाए वो आराम से 3.5% per annum. नेट प्रॉफिट ट्रेड में होलसेल में 5% मुश्किल से और रिटेल में 20% मुश्किल से. स्टॉक में 10 से 25% हो सकता है, बॉन्डों में 8 से 15%. इसके अलावा अदर रिस्क्स भी होते हैं इन बिजनेसेस में. तो अगर कोई एक्टिविटी आ जाए जो 25% से ज़्यादा रिटर्न बोले, वो या तो ज़्यादातर MLM या पोंजी होता है. लेकिन ऐसा एक और ऑडियंस है जो ऐसे रिटर्न्स दे सकता है और इन दोनों कैटेगरी में नहीं क्लासिफाई होता है. वो मैं अभी आपको दिखाऊंगा. बिटकॉइन को अगर देखें, on 1st of January started below $1,000. Now it is over $14,000. That's over 1400% gains. In fact, today over $16,000. In Ethereum, it started off less than $8 in January. And now it's over $700. That's about 850% gains in less than a year. Bitcoin Cash launched recently on 1st August and it was split from, people got it free who already had Bitcoin, so it's about 3000% gains over there. Bitcoin Gold also split to existing token holders and given free, so it was about 300% gains as it's over $300 just from October. Cryptocurrencies are already 540 billion a market. That's not a small economy to ignore anymore. Many important people have come out and spoken for cryptocurrencies at different point in time. Bill Gates a few years ago had already made this statement in public on Forbes a few years ago, not recently. Now let's look at some myths and realities. One of the myths is cryptocurrencies made for misuse. This is a myth. First of all, we have to remember it only started 10 years ago. Terrorists, anti-moral behavior and illegal activities were present before as well. And currently there are reports to show that the dollars are being used for such activities as the main form. The fault is not with the few wrong people who misuse or abuse it, but with the fault is not to actually generate cryptocurrency. You need to do mining with the equipment which I have shown you just now. This equipment can cost between hundreds of thousands of dollars to get any significant form of rewards. Just for an example, for 24, you have to get a machine to work about 2 months non-stop to create 1 Ethereum by one high-end dedicated machine. So it's not exactly falling from the air. People also think that money is safe in the banks. A question to wonder, if you have $500,000 or let's say 5 lakh rupees in a bank, is it safe? If anything happens, 5,000 Sing dollars per savings account. In India, it's about 1 lakh rupees. In Thailand, about $30,000. So that's about all that the amount is assured. In fact, in Cyprus, a European country, a few years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, they did carry out, the banks did confiscate some funds in the bank accounts. So it's a myth to consider that your money is safe in your bank. Now people also think currency is safe. So let's explore by analyzing 3 different notes. First we have the $100 note, then we have the 500 rupee note, and now we have the 1 rupee note. Now if we look through the features of these notes, 100 US among these 3 is usually considered to be the most powerful note. But over time, security features get taken away. At one time, the $100 note or the US dollar currency was backed by gold. Now that's no longer the case. So what is it backed by? If we compare these 3 notes, the 500 rupee notes carries a promise to pay the bearer. But the most interesting among these, which is the safest note, is the 1 rupee note, not the 500 rupees note or the $100 note, mainly because it's issued by a government of India. The other 2 notes are issued by a reserve. So if you hold a government, if you want to hold someone accountable, the safest would be the 1 rupee note. One more thing to wonder, why does India have 2 different agencies issuing currency? Why doesn't the RBI issue the 1 rupee note instead of the government of India? Airlines. What is the cost that you would pay for extra baggage per kg? That's about $15 to $20. And how much are they liable for? Would you ever put a laptop or an expensive camera on baggage for the airlines? You would think twice before you do. Because the airlines are actually just liable for about $25 for liability per kg. So now we have seen that airlines are not safe, banks are not that safe, and even currency may not be that safe. People also think that cryptocurrency is a bubble. This is a myth. I ask you, what is not a bubble? Currency value is eroding every year, 5 to 10% drop every year. Banks with so many non-performing assets, and if there was no government protection, they would collapse. Property rates have already dropped 25 to 40%. We are living in bubbles. So can we say that even life is also a bubble? We do not know when it will burst, but the show must go on. Now let's look at the bubbles. Cryptocurrency around 540 billion, that's about slightly above Amazon. Now we have, when we look at US dollar just now, it's about 1.5 trillion. And we have more bubbles which are bigger. So which bubble is likely to burst first? Let's not forget the US economy also has a very big debt to pay off if they ever get called on it. We can also see the deposit insurance in all the other currencies. There are quite a few of them. Now what is an ICO? An ICO is an initial coin offering. How it can be compared easily with IPOs. ICO is a way of funding which allows the masses to get access to the different offerings that businesses and people have. During an IPO, there is a stage called pre-IPO. This stage is often restricted to what is called the high net worth individuals. They take the cream of the offering and leave the IPO to the public. In an ICO, all of these stages are given to the public. What are the benefits of an ICO? A startup can raise funds faster due to less procedural hassle from banks and government and exchanges, while investors can profit through pre-ICO appreciation, appreciation by trading on exchanges, and the rewards that the tokens offer. ICOs are not something new or small. They have already gone past 1.2 billion and surpassed early stage VC fundings. Hundreds of $million are raised within hours. Hundreds of ICOs are released almost every few days. Now the Guinea. One thing unique about us, we have put through KYC and AML on quite a big level. We engaged Thomson Reuters, their system WorldCheck. This is used by 43 out of 44 banks in the world to QC their possible clients. We also have a special database from MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, on people who we should not be dealing with. So we use both of these technologies together to QC every single user within our system. Now the ICO, this is a table showing our rates for the Guinea tokens. We start off with 3100 Guinea tokens per Ethereum, and we end up with 2200 Guinea tokens per Ethereum. Within this stage itself, one can see that easily about 40% of benefits are available just in the rate variation in that period. Token holders also get up to 58% of the rewards, which is not a small thing from the business, which most of the companies do not do. And they can also trade on exchanges for the tokens. The price would be as per demand and supply. The process to buy Guinea tokens is fairly easy. Any user who is not aware of how to do it can always contact us. They just have to do the KYC, set up a wallet which takes a few seconds, and buy the Ethereum for the smart contract. Now let's touch on legality. Are ICOs or cryptocurrencies even legal in the first place? Let's remember, law is made to help the people of society, and it's for the benefit of the people. It also changes from time to time. What is considered illegal now becomes legal in due course. At one time, live-in was considered immoral and illegal. Now it's becoming a norm. Japan has legalized cryptocurrencies. Australia has removed VAT on cryptocurrencies. Singapore has clear laws for taxation and is in the process of fine-tuning further. Other countries will follow soon. Blockchain is a powerful storm. Either flow with it or get blown away by it. Now, after all of this, is it even legal in the first place in Singapore, India, and so on? So let's look at the acceptance of cryptocurrency. In 2013 December, the MAS had announced that this would be a commercial decision for transactions in cryptocurrencies. In India, a recent development, the judiciary had ordered the bank SBI or the RBI to review how to legalize this cryptocurrency, as they see that it cannot be stopped. A few other countries you can see, most of them are not against cryptocurrencies. This is a notice from Income Revenue Authority of Singapore on the income tax treatment of virtual currencies. For our legal framework, MAS also released guidelines on our business model, and we were quite pleased to see that our case was matching. We complied with the case studies. Some of the media coverage that we have had so far. We have been getting quite a bit of media coverage in many countries. Over 100 media has already published about us, and 2.3 million tokens have been issued through the Guinea. Some of the media coverage can be seen over here. That's about all that I have on the Guinea. And if any of you have any questions on this matter, will be more than pleased to answer them. Thank you very much.
See, the most important part, recently what we have seen through Bitcoin, the currency which is there and the controversy. What action or what guideline you are going through, you should not get in controversy. So he can hear me. He can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
So what are the guidelines or what are the procedure you're following? You should not get in the controversy, because the most recent on the Bitcoin, even Mr. Bachchan, even he is the one who have taken crores of rupees, and he's in loss. So what? He's in a loss. I don't know whether you are aware or not. Mr. Gupta might be aware about this.
Okay. So at the same time, we have Thomson Reuters WorldCheck behind us. and we also have the MAS database. We are using both of these to ensure that any possible people who we do not want to be associated with are flagged out early. That's why we have a KYC portion. This checks both of these systems before the people go through. On top of that, there is a clear taxation structure for Singapore as well. Now for India's case, it's a bit unique in the sense that at one point, one agency wanted to outlaw cryptocurrency, and then now recently the judiciary actually asked them to review how to accept it. So in this case, India is still at the early stages. Eventually they will release their taxation structures, and at most what we expect is maybe they will ask for KYC, which our technology is already doing. And if the government wants to restrict access to certain people, our systems are already capable of that. So if they release such guidelines, we just have to put the names in and they'll be stopped immediately. At the same time, if there are any statistics that they require, it's freely available.
Just saying
I'd like
something.
to add here.
Silence in the back, please.
Most of the time, people are aware about Bitcoin because the price is appreciating or depreciating, because it's a speculative nature. Various people has bets on it to get benefit or either at times on loss. Overall on period to period it is gains, but yes, there has been some loss at times. If you analyze what we have shared right now, our business is not at all on speculation. We are providing infrastructure for the companies, which is cryptocurrencies or blockchain, where the transactions are processed. So whether they are for $10,000 or $20,000 or $5,000, they will require processing. So what we are doing is processing. The second part of our business is the ATM machines, which gives the user ease to buy or sell, because there is a very big thought in the mind of a lot of people, I have coins, but where I can sell it? Maybe a lot of shops are not accepting it, or maybe I can get money from it or not. So that's why we made it very easy for the people that they can buy or sell instantly, like what you do on a bank ATM machines. And it doesn't require very high technology also, because many people are not that technical literate. So that gives them an ease of business as well as the gains. It is up to them whether they want to do speculation or not. As far as we are concerned, we are an infrastructure company in blockchain, and we are capitalizing on that because the scope is very high and the gains are very high, and that is why who participate in our ICO will be benefited by that. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much. So who will be your targeted audience? You are here in Mumbai, you already run a press meet in Delhi. During the course of presentation, I've seen, if you want to go for it, you have to go to the Facebook page of yours, like it, and then they'll give the update. Then what is the KYC procedure? What are the things included in KYC?
In KYC, we take down their personal particulars and a copy of their physical IDs as well. We run it through those 2-3 systems that we have, and we have a compliance department who is making sure that everything is in order. They then revert back to the user. So the KYC can be done on a website. They just go to our website and click on the KYC portion, and they come with a form. So once they do that in order, the compliance gets back to them on what is the status and gets in touch with them personally on this matter.
Mr. Gupta, you're saying something. Who will be the target audience?
Okay. This technology is worldwide. It's not aimed or restricted to any segment. It doesn't require involvement of any cash, and this whole process also do not require any human involvement. So no matter where a person is there, it can take part in it. But of course we have done some restrictions, like some of the countries which there might be some issues about the money laundering or terrorist activities, like we have excluded Pakistan, we have excluded Iran, we have excluded North Korea. So even though they wish to involve in it, we don't want to get any involvement of theirs, so we have already restricted.
Especially in the crypto and the virtual money, legal, are we illegal,
Okay, that is what we have shared. We are a Singapore company and we are fully legal in that perspective. We have the written legal opinion from the competent lawyers from there. That is number one. Now what we are going place to place, India is our Matrabhumi hai. So we've realized that India is lacking in this environment. China has taken a big lead in that. They are controlling almost 60% of the mining of the world. They are controlling almost like 95% of the hardware manufacturing. India has been in IT revolution, but in this front, India has been lacking a lot. So what we thought, probably this could be our contribution, that we can go ahead to create the awareness among the people, among the authorities, and we have already pitched our solution of this foreign remittance to the government of India. Hopefully if we can hear something from that. That is where we believe, that's why we are addressing to the press here, which can be a very fundamental in raising the awareness and removing the confusion from the public. Eventually, whatever the taxes are there, this is supposed to be there. There is no issue with that, because that's how the country runs and that's how the development will help on. And we are there to work together with any authorities for that.
Thank you so much.
One more thing is,
Yeah, please. You can take his mic.
one more thing is, recently there has been tax notices issued on quite a big volume for those trading in cryptocurrencies. So that would be another development which has recently happened, where the income tax in the India side is actually giving out tax notices to the people trading.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
I would like to add one more thing here. With God grace, we have one celebrity here, Dr. Shri Sairam Ayerji, and if we would like to invite him.
जी सर गाना भी गाएंगे सर गाना भी गाएंगे
Kindly.
आइए सर गाना भी गाएंगे सर आइए आप आइए गाना भी गाएंगे सर आप
He has seen us for a long time, and I would like if he can bless Mr. Vikas for his interview.
गाना तो एक बंदा है दोनों नहीं सर
Hi friends, first of all, Gupta ji and the junior Gupta ji, both of them, I mean, my heartiest congratulations and best wishes to them, because one thing I can tell you friends, I don't understand business as much because I'm an artist. मैं एक आर्टिस्ट हूँ तो मैं बिजनेस नहीं समझता, इस बात में मैं बिल्कुल निरक्षर हूँ, मगर स्पिरिचुअल बात अगर आप करते हैं, anything to do with Adhyatma, because music itself is something to do with soul. And that's how I met Gupta ji. And I can't forget that evening walk of mine where I was in Singapore for a concert. And I was just casually walking in the moonlight, and suddenly I found one gentleman walking beside me. And one thing led to another, and we started off a discussion. And that led to so many varied topics. But the common factor was spirituality. He didn't know I was a singer, and I didn't know he owned the resort. And his simplicity, his sincerity is what struck me most. And I believe the same thing struck him also about me, because he didn't expect comparatively a youngster to be able to talk things that I was discussing, because I've always been into it. So this is how it's been. हम ज़्यादा नहीं मिलते, मगर जब भी मिलते हैं ऐसा लगता है कि अरसों से बिछड़े हुए कोई रिश्तेदार जो हैं उनसे जब मुलाकात होती है तो कैसे होता है, वैसे I feel whenever I meet them. So मैं इसके बारे में इतना सचमुच समझता नहीं हूँ, मगर अगर इन्होंने कहा है तो मैं मानने को तैयार हूँ. This is something more about soul. So let me not talk technology and technique. But I'm so happy to meet you, sir. And here is wishing all the best. I pray for my country as much. I know he cares for the country and its upliftment. इससे पहले भी उन्होंने कई कोशिशें की हैं. He is a very, I don't know whether it's the right platform for me to suggest this, but then he is probably one of the topmost Vastu specialists of the world, and so I am blessed to be in his aura in a way, and I'm happy I could make it today. And here is wishing all of you watching this and the ones who are present here all the very best. Let's all progress and flourish together. Let's hope. सुजलाम सुफलाम जो कहते हैं वो होने दीजिए. हम अभी तक तो हमने सिर्फ ये नेशनल एंथम में सुना है, मगर होते कम देखा है. तो उम्मीद करते हैं कि ये हमारा देश जो है सचमुच दूधो नहाओ फूटो फलो ये हो और हम सभी उसमें शामिल हों. थैंक यू
सर. दो लाइन सर, दो लाइन सर, बहुत बहुत और में सर, लेकिन हाँ
इस occasion में कुछ सोचता नहीं है, मगर something which is about एक kind of पुराना ही गाना है, मगर बहुत बढ़िया गाना है, जो कहता है कि दुनिया में बहुत कुछ है, हम अपने आप के लिए तो जीते ही हैं, मगर जब किसी और के लिए जिया जाए उसे जिंदगी कहते हैं।
घंटी बज गई।
मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो रोको जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है। सूरज ना बन पाए तो बन के दीपक जलता चल, हो मिले अंगारे सच की राहों पे चलता चल, सच की राहों पे चलता चल, प्यार दिलों को देता है, जो अश्कों को दामन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो रोको जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सो मच। वी हैव कुछ और हमारे सेलिब्रिटी दोस्त यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं। मैं आप सब तारुफ करना चाहूँगा, बॉलीवुड की एक बहुत अच्छी फिल्म आई थी बी केयरफुल।
मुझे इसके बारे में तो ज़्यादा नॉलेज नहीं, बट जो खुद एक आचार्य जी की जो शख्सियत है वो इतनी अच्छी है, क्योंकि मेरे घर आए थे कुछ दिन पहले और मैंने जो उसके बाद पॉजिटिविटी और कुछ चीज़ों में प्रोग्रेस देखी है वो आप लोगों के सामने बहुत जल्द दिखाई देगी, इसलिए मैं उसको बोलूँगा नहीं, बट आप टाइम का वेट कर रहा हूँ सर। एंड थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग टू माई होम, और आपके ब्लेसिंग्स की वजह से मैं कहीं तो पहुँच गया हूँ। थैंक यू।
एक और बड़ा प्यारा सा खूबसूरत सा चेहरा जिसे आप कई म्यूजिक वीडियोस में, कई एड फिल्म्स में देखते होंगे, और एक और इनका ब्लॉकबस्टर सॉन्ग रिलीज होने वाला है बहुत जल्दी। हमारे बीच मौजूद है हमारी प्यारी दोस्त तानिया जी। सो आई रिक्वेस्ट तानिया से फ्यू वर्ड्स फॉर गिन्नी, क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल से गिन्नी जो शब्द है वो आप लोगों को ज़्यादा समझ आता होगा, फीमेल सेंट्रिक वर्ड है गिन्नी, है ना? सो तानिया।
थैंक यू सो मच। मुझे ज़्यादा तो नहीं पता है गिन्नी के बारे में, बट मैं इनके बारे में ज़रूर कुछ कहना चाहूँगी। मैं कभी मिली नहीं हूँ, बट मैंने जितना भी सुना वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, एंड आई विश कि मैं आपसे आगे भी फ्यूचर में मिल पाऊँ। एंड थैंक यू सो मच, आप सच में बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, एंड फॉर यू ऑल्सो, जितना भी सुना मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, एंड आप बहुत अच्छा करते हैं, बहुत अच्छा। थैंक यू सो मच।